Welcome to Real People, Real Voices. I'm your host, James Jackson.
I'm your co-host, Pastor Wayne Moore.
Always a pleasure to host with you.
Always a pleasure, man, to see that you're doing well. I know you had a rough week on last week, and it's good to see that the Lord has brought you and your family through, and you're still on our prayer list, as well as your family. Happy to see you.
I want to thank you, Dr. Moore, for all the love and the condolences, and the WHMB TV 40 family for all the love and condolences and calls, and texts, the passing of my father. And yes, please keep us in your prayers. And we have a great show on today. We want to thank our sponsors.
Yeah, we do. Fervent Prayer Christian Academy, Lee Crosso and Crawley are with us, the Marion County Health Department, who's doing a great job in COVID-19. And not only them, but Al's Modern Clothing, and guess what? Shoes as well.
Yeah, so it's going to be some, certainly God bless them for all they do for us. We also want to encourage those of you who are watching to go to WHMB TV 40 on YouTube. You can watch this show when it's over, as well as others that you might have missed. And we're going to be joined here momentarily.
Yeah.
Before we say, like us
on Facebook. You know, we had to do that. We like being on Facebook. And you can go to Facebook and see the first show we've ever done. It's in the archives. Pull us up, watch us, and support us, and become a sponsor.
And share us. Share us. We've got Gary Gibson and Akila Webster coming up here in just a few moments to talk about a walk run-a-thon coming up. It's just, you know, exciting things with the center there, the Sickle Cell Martin Center. They've done an extraordinary job. And
they're still doing it, and we want to help them keep doing what they're doing in a COVID-19 world. We got to do that.
Absolutely. So stay with us. Be back after this. Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices, and we have some wonderful, wonderful things to share with you. We're joined now by Gary Gibson and Akila Webster from the Martin Center. And Dr. Moore, I think they're going to share some really interesting things with us on today.
I mean, I think it's going to be interesting. First of all, I want to just give kudos to Gary for keeping the Martin Center going for so long. And I know it has to be a rough time doing COVID-19 and keeping this situation going for these sickle cell patients, and you need to be commended for that, and we want to do that here on Channel 40. And so happy to have Akila and the B. Webster with you today. We're going to hear about what she has to offer, but we're getting ready to get started, my God, with this walk and run-a-thon, and it's the 24th year, I believe. Is that right, Gary?
Yes, that's correct.
24th year. Do you have a goal in mind this year?
Love to raise at least $25,000.
$25,000. Okay, we're going to make sure that we participate in that. The Baptist Ministers Alliance is going to give the first 1,000.
Well, thank you so much.
So you only need 24,000 now.
That's very kind. We only need 24.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, right. I tell you, it's so exciting to see this coming together. I've been in the last 3 walks. And I've done some walking and some running. So this is a wonderful, wonderful event, getting this information out. Gary, tell us, and for those folks who may be watching, who may not be familiar with the work of the Martin Center, tell us what you all do.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. Thank you for the support that both of you have given us over the last few years. So I definitely want to start with that. Doing what we do requires partnerships, it requires community support, and you two have definitely provided that to us, so thank you so much. Well, what we do is we provide supportive services to people that have sickle cell disease. Sickle cell is a rare form of a blood disease. It primarily affects people with it primarily affects people of African American heritage, or people that have African heritage, I guess is more accurate. And what it does is it causes the problems with the blood that end up causing intense periods of pain and also sometimes debilitating pain. People can't do anything except think about getting out of that pain. And basically, it will have what we call it. It's called a sickle cell crisis. The crisis can last for anywhere from a few hours to weeks, actually, where people are pretty much just plain and simply debilitated for that period of time. So it has a negative effect on their quality of life. It has a negative effect on their ability to get an education. It has a negative effect on their ability to earn income. So what we do is we try to provide social support services that help people try to improve to whatever extent we can their quality of life. So we offer services like a food pantry. We have a monthly support group. We provide transportation assistance. We also provide emergency financial assistance to people that have sickle cell disease. We provide general counseling services to people to try to help them find what other resources that they need that we cannot provide. We've been doing that now. We are in our 51st year, and we are the second oldest sickle cell center in the entire country. And so we continue to try to do what we can to help people that are affected by sickle cell disease. We also try to educate the community about sickle cell. We also are trying to educate the people right now. We have a contract to do work for the Indiana State Department of Health, where we're trying to help people learn more about sickle cell trait. You need to have two parents that have sickle cell trait to produce a child with sickle cell disease. We learned recently that the Centers for Disease Control says that only 13% of people that have sickle cell trait are aware that they have it. So our job now with this particular project is to try to ensure that people are educated to know the importance of knowing their sickle cell status, whether or not they have sickle cell trait, and also to let people understand that there are some certain health complications that come with for people that have sickle cell trait. So we do all of that. We provide services, we provide education, and finally, we do advocacy. We work closely with Representative Greg Porter of the Indiana General Assembly to advance legislation and support for people that have sickle cell here in the state of Indiana. So we do all of those things.
Well, tell us, Akilah and the Bee Webster, tell us what you're going to be doing.
Well, I've been a volunteer and supporter of Martin Center. It's a cause that's near and dear to my heart. My grandmother had sickle cell disease and passed away from complications of it. So I was happy to find a place that I could funnel my time, talent, and treasures to help others that are in the same situation. So I've been working closely with Gary on the 5K committee for a couple of years now, and help with some of the planning aspects of that, some marketing aspects. We've recently done some new things with our marketing, ramping up our email marketing campaigns and some social media. So I plan to continue supporting Gary and the Martin Center in those efforts this year, especially with us taking the 5K virtual. So that is opening up a whole new world of technology and social media that we haven't had to tap into before. So I plan to, along with some of our other volunteers, help make that happen.
That is going to be interesting to see you raise $25,000 to $30,000 virtually. And that's going to be amazing. So we're asking the community to get ready to support sickle cell, the 5K, to the best of your ability. They need our help. These are trying times. We're all functioning in a COVID-19 world, and we need to do what we can to help make sure sickle cell gets the attention that it needs.
Gary, Akilah, tell us what this is going to look like going into, of course, this year with COVID, social distancing, masks, all that sort of thing. We do know that if you're outdoors, the governor has indicated, and the mayor, if you're outdoors, at least the governor, we know for sure, that if you're practicing social distancing and you're exercising, you won't need the mask. But with so many people coming together, how are you all planning to facilitate this successfully?
So that's a good question. And as Akilah kind of alluded to, this is a brand new and huge challenge for us. Last year, we had a record number of participants. We were just shy of 800 people. We were actually hoping we could get up to 1,000 this year before COVID-19 came along. So we're not really sure how it's going to end up, to be honest with you. But what we're attempting to do is we're trying to have a Facebook Live event. And during that event, we're going to have programming where we're going to be sharing information about sickle cell disease. We're going to have interviews with some of the people that live with sickle cell disease to help get people a sense for it and what it is and why it's important to support our work. And then we're going to allow people to, and this is where Akila comes in, people to hashtag and then be able to share them pictures of them walking or running or whatever else they want to share to support the effort. So that's kind of what we're trying to do. And we are sort of midway through the planning of it. And, you know, we've got our fingers crossed that, you know, it's going to turn out okay. But again, this is all brand new territory. And we can only hope that people will support us and help us make this event successful. Again, you know, it's one thing to do it in person. We've got that down pat, you know, and we could do that almost with our eyes closed. This is totally new.
Well, let's pause right here. We've got to take a quick break, and we want to talk about that. Akila can perhaps tell us give us some details, early details about how that's going to work. And Dr. Moore has a question also. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices. I'm your host, James Jackson.
I'm your co-host, Pastor Wayne Moore.
Dr. Moore, exciting event coming up.
Yes.
Gary Gibson, Akila Webster sharing details with us about how we're going to do this. Of course, we all have had to do things differently surviving COVID. You had a question with regard to how they're going to be doing this. Let's pick it up where we left off.
My main concern is basically because I know about some area of survival for organizations and what they do for communities such as sickle cell. This is a little humor. She said that people are going to be on Facebook showing themselves running and walking. I need people to be on Facebook writing checks. So if you're not running or walking, be on Facebook and let us see you write that check. You have some registration fees. Tell us about the mechanics that's going to make this up as it relates to the giving end of it as it works virtually.
So we are allowing people to, we're encouraging people to register online at raceroster.com. Race roster is one word, RACEROSTER.com/events -2020. And then just go on Race Roster and search for Martin Center Sickle Cell Walk and it'll pop up. And when you do, you'll have the opportunity to register and registration is going to give you the opportunity to order a t-shirt or no t-shirt. That's going to be your choice. If you want a t-shirt, then it's going to be $40 registration. If you don't want a t-shirt, it's $25 registration. We have group pricing for people that are 3 or more people as a group, and that's $20 per member without a t-shirt and $35 per member with a t-shirt. And so basically what we're working out, one of the final details we're working out is what else does the registration give you? And that's a part of what Akila and our team are working on, is what else does it give you? So we may allow you to go into Zoom or something like that. We haven't decided that just yet. So that we will hopefully decide in the next couple of days. So at any rate, that's what basically the registration fee is. What I wanted to do, if I could, just take a quick second, I would like to share a photograph of our 2020 Child Ambassador.
Oh.
Her name is Miracle Wakefield. Miracle is 13 years old. She has sickle cell disease, SS, and she will be a part of the ceremonies, are part of the event. And we'll be interviewing Miracle, and she'll talk a little bit about what sickle cell means to her and what Martin Center means to her. One of the things that actually we do interviews for the people that want to be child ambassadors. And when we interviewed Miracle, one thing she said still sticks in my mind, will probably stay there for the rest of my life. He said, "What does Martin Center mean to you, Miracle?" And Miracle said, I love Martin Center because it's the only place I can go to where people understand me. And I think that that's wonderful, and that's why we do what we do here. So effectively, go to raceroster.com, search for Martin Center, or you can go to our website, www.themartincenter.org, and there will be a link to the race registration site. So either way, that's how you can get there and then register. And certainly we would love your support. In addition to registering to participate, you don't have to participate. You can just write that check, as you said, Pastor Moore. So you can
That's
make a donation.
exactly right. I mean, that's what is, isn't that right, Brother Jackson? That's what.
Absolutely. You know, it's so important. There are so many people, we don't hear about it as often as we should, which is one of the reasons why we're here today. And Akilah, you started to speak to some of the things that you were going to be helping to facilitate this. Kind of fill us in on some more details, if you would, please.
Absolutely. So as Gary mentioned, we'll have people that are registering as either individual or group or team participants. One of the good things about a virtual race is that in times of social distancing, it allows people to participate on their own, in their own location. You can run on a trail at your park, you can run through your neighborhood, you can even do it on your treadmill at home. So it opens up possibilities for people to participate in a safe and healthy way. People are able to run or walk, whatever your ability is. So it really works out for people of all abilities, all levels, and in all locations. You can participate from New York, you could participate from South Africa. So, and we actually do have supporters in other countries. And so we will be making sure that they are tuned in as well and can continue to participate and support. Gary also mentioned that we'll have some programming going on that day. Since all of this will be broadcast on Facebook Live, we'll be able to cut in with programming and information from our sponsors and other partners. And we'll have some fun, you know, it'll be interactive. We'll have some prizes for our winning racers. And so we will keep a leaderboard going and share some photos and videos from those participating.
It's going to be interesting how you all are going to be able to keep up with leaders.
Well, the question is, are you going to participate even though you don't have to get to run for, well, you can run for real, but not like you did before.
Yeah. Actually, I think my group will be out at the Fort Benjamin Harrison Park.
Great.
We've been out there doing some things. I'm out there all the time now, enjoying it. That'll be a great thing for me. So yeah, absolutely.
Great.
I think I can participate this year too. You know,
absolutely.
What better way to do it than be able to participate in a runathon or a 5K and sitting in a chair? That's phenomenal.
You can write a check every half hour.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's phenomenal. I think this is going to be exciting. And I want the community of Indianapolis and all over the world to participate in this. I think we can do the $25,000 virtually to make sure that people can be taken care of as it relates to sickle cell and the work that you do. You need a shot in the arm in COVID-19. You need these resources. Yeah. And I hope the community will respond. We're living in a time to where grant money is drying up. Everything is drying up as it relates to these organizations. But it's now time for us to step up and do what we can do to help this particular situation that's been going on for 24 years. And let's do our best to get this $25,000 in on that particular day, which is August the 29th from 8:30 to 12 noon Eastern time. So let's make sure we look at the virtual edition of what's really happening at Martin Center.
We want to encourage everybody to go to the Facebook page for Martin Center.
Right.
And to let all your friends and family know about this show and share it on your social media so we can have as many people participating as possible. Gary, Akilah, thank you for being our guest on today. Always great to have you.
Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity. We appreciate everything that you do for us. And also we'd like to acknowledge Marion County Public Health Department, who just signed up to be our title sponsor. So thank you for that too.
God bless you.
We'll be back after these messages.
Keep
Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices. I'm James Jackson.
I'm Pastor Wayne Moore.
And we got a great show today talking to Gary and Akila about sickle cell. You know, it's just a dreaded disease. And we didn't get to ask them. I wanted to ask them, Dr. Moore, and perhaps you know, I just wonder if COVID-19, the coronavirus 19, has added to the complication.
Great point. I hope we can get that question answered in the near future, because COVID-19 seems to be more intelligent than we've given it credit for, as a virus, that is. And it has tendency to do and respond the way it chooses to do. And so that's a great question to ask. But what's so ironic about this is, Pastor Jackson, is they're going to do this virtual, and this is going to be challenging for the center. And that's why we need the total community all over central Indiana and in Marion County and everywhere else to participate to make this happen.
Yeah. And of course, the BMA has started the ball rolling with $1,000 gift to the Martin Center. So they just need 24,000 now.
Yeah. So I'll get beat up about that, but I'm pretty sure we got to learn how to support one another. We'll get it done because that's what it's all about, helping one another in times like these. In the midst of a crisis, leadership must stand up in the midst of crisis.
And that is a differentiating factor between good leaders and not so good leaders. Suffice to say, but it's going to be a great event. You can go today and you can register for the event, the 5K that is coming up. And it won't be in person this time as it has been, but you can still do it anywhere you want, on your treadmill at home, in your neighborhood, in a state park, anywhere in the world you can support.
As long as you practice social distancing and check writing, and participate in any aspect of giving to make this happen, to raise that $25,000 for Sickle Cell Center.
Absolutely. It's been our pleasure to be your host on today. We look forward to our next time together. Until then, God bless you. Thank you.
God bless you.